Hey everybody, welcome back. That's right, it's that time of the month again. So today we're definitely going to be checking out all of February 2024's brand new games. Now we do have a Sony showcase that's coming up probably the day after or the day of this video releases. So things might change, there might be some surprises along there, but for the most part, most of these games are pretty solid for February. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into February 2024's VR game releases. Alright, first up on February 1st, we have Project Demigod. Now, Project Demigod is kind of like a few other simulator type games. Basically, you get to choose your own powers and kind of fly around the city like Spider-Man if you want to. You know, it's really just kind of about being your own superhero in this game. I have not played it yet. It does look interesting to me. It is releasing on PCVR and Quest. Might be a game I check out. Like I said, there is several other games that are like this already that are out there that I've played, and it's definitely fun, but this one takes it to another level. Also on February 1st for Quest, we have Rogue Stargun. Now, Rogue Stargun is a little bit difficult to get used to, and you definitely need your VR legs for this. But if you're into space simulation or flight simulation, and definitely space combat, this is definitely one you want to check out. Plenty of things to do with the 24 missions it has, but definitely make sure you are a veteran in VR. Up next, we have Mixture. Now, Mixture is a really cool game where you get to play as kind of like an alchemist, where you get to mix certain potions and throw them down onto your enemies. It really resembles games like Moss. So if you're a fan of Moss, this is definitely something you want to pick up. I absolutely loved playing this on Quest. Now it's fully releasing on PlayStation VR2, which I bet the graphics are most definitely better looking, and it runs a lot smoother. There's no doubt about that. But if you have not played Mixture yet, now is the best time to play it. Once again, if you're a fan of Moss, this is something you don't want to miss out on. You're a little bit more nitty-gritty on the combat side, so if you like that, this one's for you. Border Bots. Now, this game looks a lot of fun to me. I've not yet had a chance to play it, and I'm kind of disappointed in that, but we are definitely going to be checking it out as soon as it releases. Basically, you're playing a bot that is a border patrol, and you get to accept or deny all kinds of bots trying to travel into the city based on certain circumstances, and it's very interesting some of the check marks that you have to hit for bots to enter. Very, very interesting, and it's kind of made to be like a comedic stand on things, so it's definitely one I want to check out and something to look out for. Dead Hook VR. Now, this game is really, really fun to play. I had the pleasure of playing it on Quest, and now it's releasing on PlayStation VR2, Pico, and PCVR. If you're a fan of roguelike games, this is definitely something you want to check out. I have a video on this if you want to see some of the gameplay, but really you're just playing another hack and slash game with all kinds of unique skills, basically against the dead, and it's really just a wild concept of it. You can kind of fly around the map, have different weapons, and really it's all about the combos in most roguelike games. This is cool. I'm glad to see that it's finally coming out on other platforms, especially PlayStation VR2, so definitely check it out. Ghosts of Tabor is finally coming to a full release on Steam and the Quest Store on February 8th. And I must say, I cannot believe that this game just did not go straight to the store. I can't believe that it was on App Lab at all. This game is probably one of the top shooters that's out right now. And if you haven't heard of it, you're living under a rock. Go download it. There's no reason to even hesitate or watch any more of what this trailer is. If you're into shooters, this is a game that you want to play. It's basically a survival game where you have to watch out because every person is a bad guy. OVRDRK. Now, this is a game that I got to play a demo for, and I must say it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. It's releasing fully on PlayStation VR2 and on Steam as a sequel to Do Not Open, and the trailers always looked really good, but that demo that I played on the Steam Fest was kinda iffy. I really hope that they worked out some bugs, otherwise I'd be really excited to play this game. Alright, so this is one of my most anticipated games as far as platformers go that are releasing to the Quest store. This is Max Mustard, and if you're a fan of platformers or Super Mario in any way, playing this game is an absolute must. You take the form of a new character named Max, and basically you are just dealing with all kinds of crazy things. You must help along in the adventure. You're able to do some gun shooting. There's all kinds of devices that Max gets to go into and all kinds of enemies that he has to fight. And really, it's just insane to me how well this game is crafted. The map even looks like kind of like a Super Mario Bros. 3 type deal. I got to play it early, and I must say I was super impressed. Now this is one, if you're a fan of the Titanic, you most definitely want to see. I have not, once again, got to play this one, but from the trailers, I'm already hooked on it. It's already a game I'm going to be playing day one. Basically, you go back in time and you are caught on the Titanic. And the way the graphics look, they may not be the absolute best, but it's really cool that you have to solve some puzzles, and it kind of even has like this horror element to it, which is kind of interesting. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's definitely something that has caught my eye, and being a fan of the Titanic, it's kind of just like a must play for me. Very interesting, and I can't wait to play it. Survivorman VR. This game looks a little crazy to me. I'm not an outdoorsman in any way, shape, or form, and I won't claim that I am, but this game definitely puts you out in the wilderness, and you definitely have Les Stroud with you, because obviously he is the ultimate survivor man and has decided to make a game about just doing that, surviving out there in the wilderness. And it's kind of interesting. From what the trailer shows, it kind of has like you sliding down some mountain ranges, hunting for food, kind of scavenging in an airplane just to find certain things to survive. So I'm interested in this. I did get a key to this game. I should have this as a day one review for you, so make sure you check it out. Undercover for Quest looks like one of those classic light gun games that you used to play in the arcade way back in the day, in the early 80s and 90s, and I'm definitely hooked on it already. Looks like it's going to kind of be like a time crisis shooter. It boasts that it has a 5 or 6 hour campaign, which is kind of interesting. So it's definitely something I want to look at, and if you're a fan of shooters, or even into light gun games like Time Crisis, House of the Dead, anything like that, I think it might be a game for you. I am definitely going to be checking it out as soon as possible. VAIL is finally making a full release on February 15th, and it is probably one of the better shooters that is out there, although I will say it does take a little bit to get used to because it is not your typical shooter. There's a lot of gunplay in this, there's a lot of game modes. The PCVR version looks absolutely amazing. At the time, I was playing a demo of the Quest version, which definitely needed a little bit of help. I was able to submit some feedback to them, so I'm hoping they were able to fix some of those things. And I can't wait to see the final release and the final product. Lots of things going on here, a very big competitive scene. So if you're into that and into those type of shooters, definitely this is one you want to download. Happy Hour Hero looks like one of those classic games where you're behind the bar making all kinds of drinks for your patrons that are inside your bar, which looks really cool. If you're a fan of bartending games, you know, this is probably something you want to check out. I really like some of the bartending games that I've played in the past. This one is right along those lines, but I feel like it has a little more like depth to it. You can play some more games. There's a certain way you have to craft these drinks, and it does look a little interesting and not just your typical behind the bar mixing things mindlessly. There's definitely a little more going on with this game, so can't wait to check it out. If you're a fan of bartending games, this might be one you want to put on your wish list. Madison VR is finally going to be making it to PlayStation VR2 and PCVR on February 20th, it looks like. After a delay to the game, which I'm okay with, I definitely am just getting so hyped up for this game. I know the flat screen version was really, really cool. I waited and did not play it because I knew eventually there probably would be a VR version of this. Definitely one of the horror games that I totally want to play. Ready to poop my pants, and I hope you are too. Bootstrap Island is a new survival game that kind of has you washing up on an island as a pirate. And boy, oh boy, the demo on Steam Fest a few months ago that I did a video on was absolutely amazing. It looks really realistic, has some great physics, and the whole environment just screams being a pirate. Towards the end of the demo, things got a little dark and crazy. I don't want to spoil too much of it for you. Go watch that video. Definitely worth a download if they're still doing the demo. But I cannot wait for this game to release in full, and we are totally going to be playing this awesome pirate survival game. Operation Serpens is finally making its way to PlayStation VR2 after being on the quest for quite some time now. Once again, we're kind of looking at a game that's kind of like a light shooter, time crisis vibe. You definitely want to check it out. Basically, it's more of a military style type game where you're fighting waves and waves of enemies coming at you with multiple weapons, pretty much in the air, land, and sea. Very interesting. It's using polygon graphics, but it definitely is still a fun game to play, and you can play it with up to 4 of your buddies on a co-op mode online, so that is very interesting as well. Tales of Sintra is supposedly releasing on February 27th of 2024 on the PCVR side of things. Now this kind of looks like a Blade and Sorcery type game to me. You're going to be fighting all kinds of different enemies with swords and magic, bows and arrows, several different things going on here. It's been on my wish list for a while, and I've kind of been following it as it develops. Definitely one I want to check out. It does not look like it may be in the top tier of these type of games, but it's definitely one that I want to keep my eyes out on and make a pure judgment for myself. Like I said, it doesn't look amazing, but it probably can be. If you're a fan of those Blade and Sorcery type games, this is definitely one you may want to check out as well. I have high hopes for it. Rocks and Roots is one that I recently just heard of, and I'm very, very interested in it because it looks like it's another fantasy RPG type game, and I am always a sucker for RPG games in any way, shape, or form. Going back to the days of Ultima Online, I just love RPGs, period. This one looks like it's more based with magic, and I really cannot wait to play this one. Doom Explorer VR is definitely a game that I want to check out at the full release. I was able to play a demo of it, and all I can say that this is basically Tomb Raider in full-blown VR. You're able to explore caves, find hidden treasures, and then you also have an Indiana Jones element to it where you have to escape certain traps and things like that. Very, very interesting game, and I really cannot wait to see the full release. This is definitely one we'll be covering on the channel. The Pirate Queen is definitely a game I followed on social media as soon as I saw the trailers. I love how it's based off of stories that are presumed to be real. I am also a fan of Lucy Liu, who isn't, right? And then it just looks really cool. It looks like they put a lot of production and time and thought and effort into this. So this is definitely one that is on my wish list and is a day one buy for me. I can't wait to see what epic story this tale tells, and I'm kind of lost for words with how much production is put into this, and I hope it all translates to a VR game. Alright, and last but not least, we have Stranger Things. Now, we really don't have a date for Stranger Things. It's just to be determined at the moment, but this is a game we've been watching and looking out for a long, long time. It's great that we actually get to play the side of the bad guy and kind of see how that plays out. Trailer looks amazing. I love the cel-shaded graphics on this. And it's definitely, if you're a fan of Stranger Things, this is just something you can't pass up. Definitely want to play this. Can't wait till they tell us the exact day it's out. Day one buy for me, and it's probably going to be for each and every one of you too. Look out for a review video as soon as possible on it, and we'll just have to go from there. All right, folks. Well, that's pretty much it for February 2024 as far as all the new games that are going to be released. Lots of games to play, so little time. I don't know how we're going to cover them all, but I promise you I will do my best in any way, shape, or form to get those reviews out to you, as always. So, you already know the deal. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to make sure you get all the updates on all the latest news and reviews that is in virtual reality and its communities. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.